Yo everybody and welcome to Let's Play Dark Souls. Now this is going to be a challenge run. Considering this is a game I absolutely love, I'm just going to leave that default. And here's our character. Our character name is going to be Prinny. Black firebomb, bombs for Prinnies makes sense. The idea I have is I'm going to make a challenge run where I'm only allowed to use daggers. I'm not allowed to use any other weapons, or any other, spells or anything like that, meaning I can't even use shields. So, it's going to be interesting. Let's see. What hair should I pick? Ponytail, fine. Considering it's a Prinny, makes sense if I just make it blue. Okay, there's our dude. Our Prinny dude. Thief, black firebombs, daggers only. No shield, so that shield is going away as soon as I get it. But first, cutscene.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then, from the dark, they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Asylum and her daughters of chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. Seath, the scaleless, betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
I just love that opening.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Yep, I'm an undead as well. Look, there I am, undead. And thus begins our journey. So, this is Dark Souls. This is an awesome game. Just trying to get used to the controls again. Yeah. It's a really awesome game. I really like the story. Hi there, guy. The story is really hard to find because a lot of it's found in the text for items and other stuff, but it's a really interesting story. I really like it. Let's see, slash edit. Cool. I'm sure it'll all come crashing back to me once I after a few minutes. Rest of bonfire. So, light the bonfire, and onwards we go. Oh, you see that there? In the window? Look at that fine fellow up there. Pretty sure he's not going to give us any grief whatsoever. Just walk over here. Well, that went well. So, I'm going to try and fight him. Using the black fire bombs. You're actually able to damage him quite well, because you're actually meant to run away from this dude from the start. Given how the weapon you have does nowhere near enough damage. But with the black fire bombs, you can kill him and get an awesome weapon right from the start. Of course, ooh, and I got humanity. Of course, I'm not going to use that weapon because, like I said, there's going to be a dagger only one. Meaning I can only equip things in my first and second hand being daggers. So, no shields whatsoever. Well, actually, let me just heal quickly, so then I can tackle this next part more appropriately. Items I'm going to be fine with. Rings and everything else I'm going to allow myself to use, but no shields whatsoever, no spells, no bows, no nothing. And I picked the thief for two reasons. One being that he can start off with a bandit knife, which is a really nice starting weapon for a shield dagger only one. Yeah. So I'm going to go through this as best as I can. Given my knowledge of the game, it should potentially go well, maybe. I say it as I'm probably going to mess up a lot, so just activate that. And I apologize if you don't know the game too well. I'm going to try and show things off nicely, but I will be going on a bit of an obscure path. So what I did there, lowered out the boulder, which opened the wall to this dude.
Oh, you. You're no Hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Indeed we will.
I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. In thine exodus from the undead asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and
we're gonna need them. And the boss typically gives you the second key,
now
but
I must bid farewell.
given how I've already killed him, this dude gives them to us instead.
So go now, and thank you.
So he mentions about going hollow, which is part of the story in which when you die in this game, if you're undead, you don't stay dead. Oh. And that was him dying, by the way. You don't stay dead. You simply respawn at a bonfire, in this case. And you keep spawning and respawning and dying and dying and dying forever until you go insane. And that's what these guys are. People who have died so many times they've just gone insane. And hopefully I'm not going to go insane by trying to do this dagger only. Oh. That's one. There we go. There's two. Ow. And just backstab him. Knives, daggers have a really good high backstab damage, which is really good. Alright, I'm gonna heal quickly. Because there's a dude with more equipment here that I'm... Oh, never mind. I was concerned he was going to give me a bit of a hassle, but he didn't, which I'm grateful for. One thing... Oh yeah, and this is where you jump down to fight the boss once you've got your equipment, normally. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let me rest at the bonfire. For this challenge, considering it's based on my first Let's Play, Prinny, Can I Really Be the Hero, I'm also going to include this. Bloop. That's right, I'm giving myself 1,000 lives to beat the game. I don't see myself actually running out of lives, I say. This is the first time I've tried doing a challenge run of this game. But it should be interesting to see how many times I do die over the course of time, so that's the main reason why it's there. There's some goodies over here. I don't want to fall off. And there's nothing I can trade them now, I don't think. So let's just continue onwards. For a while I'll probably be muttering stuff to myself because I've got a path laid out in my head. Cutscene.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Giant bird.
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Ooh. And so that crow abducted us from the Undead Asylum to the Firelink Shrine, which is essentially the hub of this world. And a very handy dandy place to be. Yep. So, just rest there for a second. Sup, dude?
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the Undead Asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out.
Oh, thanks.
Actually, 2 bells of awakening. One is up above in the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town.
Blight
Ring them
Town.
both, and something happens.
Good.
Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land, the undead?
In case you don't realise, everyone in this game is insane.
Ah, your face. But who knows? Going hollow could solve quite a bit.
Pretty much everyone in the game, I think, you talk to is undead in some shape or form. Let me just consume humanity. And reverse hollow. By reversing hollow, in other words, being human, I stop being all cringly. But most importantly, I open myself up to PvP. Yeah, to being invaded, to summoning people, all sorts of stuff. Now, there's a few secrets in Firelink Shrine that you can get. I'm trying to think where they all are now. Sup, dude?
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thoroland. If not, I
If you keep talking, beware of liar. Yeah, you can leave messages for people.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested, but I also want you to know here, no go.
He gives us a copper coin. I'm going to do my best to avoid skipping dialogue.
I know. I have to await my so what if I would that?
Sure.
Very well.
No,
That is a
I don't want to join his covenant. I will roll in pot stuff. Important dialogue stuff I'm going to try and keep. There's 2 quest lines I want to try and essentially finish in this game. I'll get to them. I'll talk more about them when I get to them. But for now, I'm just going to go around and gather some of the loot available for me. Even though I don't think any of this loot is stuff I can use or will use. That's actually useful. Both useless for a dagger only run. Useful if I want to invade, which I probably would. And finally we have Numbing Mist, I believe. Talisman, which is essentially the same thing. It blocks people from using Estus flasks, I believe, or healing. Don't want to bother going down that way with the skeletons just yet. While I run this way and grab this. Oh. Nope. So, let's just heal up quickly. I'm trying to think, is there any reason for me to head down? At the start of the game, there's 3 ways we can go. We can go up that way, which will head towards the first bell. That's the way you're recommended to go, and like many people, that's the way I didn't go the first time. I didn't realize that was an option. I didn't see it. The second way to go is this way. through the graveyard and towards the catacombs. This way is definitely not recommended to go, given how the skeletons are a pain in the ass, and later on they'll keep coming back unless you have a certain type of weapon, or you rush through and kill the person who keeps summoning them. The third way to go is downwards, towards, not Analondo, that's late in the game, towards somewhere else, I can't remember the name. And you also meet this woman. Hello. She cannot speak, but she will reinforce our Estus flags, which we can't use at the moment. I'll talk about that later as we need it. But if we keep heading down, down and down and down, we get to this elevator.